For this Meta Monday episode, I've been extensively playtesting and upgrading machinedramon and Chaosdramon for the last couple of weeks. And in the process of playtesting this, I found a way to make DeathXmon even more annoying than it already is. This list is interesting, but overall you'll want to playtest this a few games before you decide whether it's for you or not. But as always, if you enjoy these types of videos, do consider liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and hitting that notification bell to get more updates on meta deck profiles, techs and strategy, and of course, concept cards that I'd personally love to see make their way to the Digimon trading card game. My layout for these videos is to provide you information in the most efficient way possible. If you're here for just what the deck is, it's there on screen. But if you want to hear the explanation, that's where you're free to stay for the card by card or be on your merry way. Time is valuable, and I value yours above all. This deck runs 4 level 2s, 12 level 3s, 7 level 4s, 13 level 5s, 7 level 6s, 2 level 7s, 3 option cards, and 6 tamers. For level 2s, this deck runs strictly BT6 Pagumon. This is the only egg in black that really helps with drawing cards. Because BT11 Koromon must have a Greymon in its name, that already eliminated this egg. But one consideration I had for additional testing would have been Gurimon for just the natural card draw. Unfortunately, because some of your level 3s do not digivolve into red eggs, this is not a recommended strategy. With Pagumon, when your Digimon is deleted, you reveal the top card, and if it's a black Digimon, you add it to your hand. In total, there are 9 cards that your deck fails to add to hand, with tamers and option cards. However, because all other cards in the deck are black or multicolor black, you can add it to your hand. For level 3s, this deck runs 4 BT9 Tapirmon, 4 EX1 Hagurumon, 3 EX3 Jazzamon, and 1 Chikurimon from the starter deck. Tapirmon is one of potential hits off of Makihimakawa and gives your Digimon on all turns plus 1000 DP if it's multicolored. Meaning even your Chaosdramon can match battle strength with a Black War Greymon X or even Mastamon before trashing 2 of the level 5s to maintain it on the field. Hagurumon is absolutely needed in the deck to trash a cyborg in your hand to draw 2. While it can be awkward at times with what you draw and what you pitch, you can even use itself for part of its effect. Jazzamon can digivolve from a red or black Digimon, but its main purpose is again, giving your Digimon that's plus 1000 DP on all turns. The only caveat is, the Digimon must have an on-play effect, which, oh nice, machinedramon and Chaosdramon have. Likewise, if you digivolve into Metal Tyrannomon, you can also get a buff for this Digimon. And lastly, a single Chikurimon for the cross matchups that you might see. Substitution-wise, there's a lot you can do. Chumons for memory blocking or even more Chikurimons for blocking reduction play costs. Personally, this deck has gone through extensive testing against Black War Greymon X and Mastamon that the DP buffs actually work out better than anything else. Although additional testing still needs to be done against other decks. When it comes to level 4s, this deck is a strange one. 4 EX1 Guardramon for dual utility of being a blocker, and a powerful inheritable that lets you cycle. The other being Promo Deltamon to reduce your cost into a large number of your level 5s. Because Promo Deltamon is also dual colored, this is one of the first hits that you can get with Makihimakawa as well. Promo Deltamon is especially advantageous for some of your level 5's multicolor status, allowing you to digivolve into them for 2 or even cheaper if you have Maki on the board. One other variant I've been looking at exploring looks at changing up the entire bottom end and bringing back Tankmons and Kazus instead. But honestly, this list was extremely fun. For level 5s, there's a lot to go over here. First up, Gigadramon from BT11 is an amazing addition in this deck. Not only does it get jamming, but it provides you inheritable reboot. Unlike Metal Tyrannomon from EX1, this reboot isn't conditional on you having a machine in your traits. It's generic, and thus can be very annoying in a specific combo. Gigadramon from BT6 gives you plus 2000 DP on your opponent's turn, 1 Metal Mememon to delete Digimon with a play cost of 5 or less, 1 EX2 Cyberdramon for de-digivolve if you have 2 or more black tamers in play. But do keep in mind that this cyborg can double as a really big beefy body if you have a black tamer out. While Gigadramon does give jamming, 10k for a level 5 is also not terrible. And of course, Megadramon from the starter deck 5 over Andramon for the generic blocker inheritable. You might be wondering why I don't run Andromon or Metal Tyrannomon anymore. I do run Metal Tyrannomon, it's just a different version. Your dual-colored cyborgs are easily picked up by Maki Himekawa and evoed into for a reduced cost if your Deltamon is out. Metal Greymon helps you swing into your opponent's unsuspended Digimon, a very useful trait when combined with other effects. Megadramon can take out those pesky cool boys, and Metal Tyrannomon is a new addition that when paired with Metal Greymon allows you to trash your opponent's security when the Digimon deletes an opponent's Digimon in battle and survives. However, Metal Greymon specializes also in de-digivolving your opponent's Digimon by one stage, and Metal Tyrannomon can suspend a Digimon for each green or black tamer you have in play. Those Digimon don't unsuspend during the next unsuspend phase. Which takes us to the level 6s for this deck, Machinedramon and Chaosdramon. Both of these Digimon have many specializations, whether you on-play Machinedramon to tuck 5 level 5 cyborg different card numbers and gain 1 memory for each one, or you on-play or Digivolve into Chaosdramon to tuck 3 under it to de-digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon 3 times. Both of these Digimon have exceptional uses, especially if Attack of the Heavy Mobile Digimon comes into play. In playtesting, I rarely on-played Machinedramon. If I did, I was either Attack of the Heavy Mobile Digimoning for game, or trashing it when Attack of the Heavy Mobile Digimon was hit in security. Chaosdramon can be picked up by Maki, and its Digivolution cost reduced with both Maki and Izzy in play to keep it on your turn. The de-digivolve is huge, but do keep in mind that if your opponent went into Metal Greymon X that turn, you will not be able to de-digivolve their stack. However, there are ways to make their lives a living hell. This is where DeathXmon can be hilarious in many elements. You run 2 for the control element, but keep in mind Maki can also find this bad boy too. But there really isn't much to say about DeathXmon because it's expensive, de-digivolves your opponent's board, and kills all their level 4 and lower Digimon. Then every turn the lowest playcost Digimon dies. Neat! Option card wise, you only run 3. Attack of the Heavy Mobile Digimon. This option card lets you give your level 6 Digimon with Machine in its traits Rush and Blitz if it has a Digivolution card. Meaning if you Digivolve into Machinedramon or Chaosdramon, they still get Blitz because they have a source, their machine, and they're level 6. The price is just trashing a machine or cyborg type Digimon from your hand. And finally, Tamers in the form of 3 Maki Himekawa and 3 Izzy Azumi. You might be asking why 3 Izzy Azumi and 3 Maki Himekawa. Number 1, you run all black cards in the deck. Meaning if Izzy Azumi is hit in security, it's a pseudo half spark that could put it to your turn. It helps rearrange your top 3 cards, and with Maki you can then guarantee specific hits. Maki can be a potential +2 with Tapiramon and a multicolor card, including DeathXmon. For combos, this deck works to mainly put out threats to counter your opponent's board. De-Digivolve can arguably be the worst mechanic against you, but you can also easily recover from it. Your goal ultimately is to set up and control the board. Metal Tyrannomon can suspend your opponent's Digimon that gives you a follow-up play to beat over and trash the top security. Chaosdramon could potentially have 4 level 5 slotted under it, the best being Metal Greymon, Metal Tyrannomon, Gigadramon, and Megadramon. The first 2 work in tandem with each other offensively, while the latter work with each other in tandem defensively. With Jazzamon and Tapiramon, you can get all turns plus 1000 as well, meaning you're 13,000 DP equivalent to challenge even Black or Greymon if the conditions are right. But the most hilarious part is when you Digivolve that Chaosdramon into DeathXmon. Because of Gigadramon and Megadramon's generic inheritable, this DeathXmon not only de-digivolves your opponent's board and deletes all of their level 4 and lower Digimon, but you can now reboot and set up a blocker as well. With the Jazzamon and Tapiramon I mentioned earlier, this Digimon could be 16,000 DP. And let me tell you, it is not a fun experience. Strengths-wise and weakness-wise, you have many ways you can sift through your deck. But this is also a weakness because Maki can potentially send important pieces to the bottom, like Reboot Gigadramon. In playtesting against Black or Greymon, the matchup was the hardest due to the amount of protection the deck has. But if they brick and go to Black Greymon first, and then climb all the way up to Black War Greymon X, you have a chance to de-digivolve it to the X antibody if they were foolish enough to put it under Greymon and pop it, since X antibody is not a Digimon. Roughly this matchup was 40-60. while other matchups like Grandis Kuwagamon were 60-40 due to your blockability and protection that prevents the piercing from going through. Metal Garurumon XY's a well-timed attack of the heavy mobile Digimon can ruin Melga X, especially if you have Chaosdramon or Machinedramon in your hand. And finally, Mastamon causes you to shift into a more conservative approach with your level 6s, as they can just Chaos degrade them to your security. But in general, how would you deal with a DeathXmon that has Blocker and Reboot? This was a fun little accident to come across, but overall out of all of the decks I've playtested for BT11 so far, this one is arguably my favorite. Let me know your thoughts on what other decks you want to see next, as I explore other candidates for Nationals. This is Digi-Panda, logging out.